Right, let's see if that is working. Hopefully it is. Good evening everyone, Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How-To. Volume levels working, yeah. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Everything seems to be working. Good evening, it is 9:05. It is the 19th of June 2021. I had to think about it then. Hopefully you're all having a good Saturday evening, or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world. Today, no surprise, there's a very strong chance we'll be talking about Windows 11, Windows 10.5, whatever you want to call it. Obviously this week, if you've been, unless you've been really living under a rock, you'd have probably heard at some point or other some YouTuber talking about the upcoming Windows 11 and all the joys and benefits of downloading a leaked ISO. Now obviously, downloading a leaked ISO is potentially not the best idea in the world. You never know what's going to be inside it. I've managed to get myself a copy through certain means. Thank you Ghost Adder on Discord, appreciate that. And I've tested it in a few different configurations, systems, etc. And that is ongoing. Also as well, obviously, Microsoft are doing a press release on 11 AM American time on the 24th, which is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day that is. So we should, in theory, find out what the deal is. Whether or not Windows 11 is Windows 11. Is it going to be Windows 11? Is it going to be Windows Sun Valley? Sunny Valley. It's going to get very weird if they start calling Windows by names like they do with the other competition from Apple, and we start having to call it things like El Capitan or Big Sur, all those kinds of things.
Alexa says it's going to be called George.
Windows is going to get very, very weird.
George would be a nightmare, wouldn't
it? It would. If they call it by a human name, that's going to become even worse. Hopefully, they don't call it either Alexa or Siri. That would be very inconvenient for a lot of people out there.
Or Cortana.
Or Cortana. That's extremely unlikely. But you never know, Microsoft being Microsoft, they are crazy ass hats at the best of times.
Windows
So,
sweaty monkey.
oh dear.
That's ugly, Bob.
Ugly Bob, please, no. So tonight, obviously, we will be discussing Windows 11, my thoughts, your thoughts. Obviously, this is a live show, so it is interactive, so please let us know in the comments what your thoughts are, whether you like it, have you tried it, what hardware have you tried it on, have you found it to be nice and snappy and efficient, or do you think it's a complete dog's dinner? Are you completely not bothered at all? Are you completely disinterested? Are you still more concerned trying to get hold of a GPU, which is still basically not a thing these days? Although, this week, many YouTubers have all been doing videos released saying that video card prices are dropping. They are a little. Not enough, but they are a little. Is this a sign of things to come? Has China banning cryptocurrency actually having a knock-on effect? Is there going to be an influx of cards very soon? Who knows? And frankly, at the moment, who actually cares? I really don't. The only thing which has actually stoked me this week has been Windows 11. It really has. It's been a breath of fresh air. I think for pretty much most of the tech space. Most of the channels that I watch have reported on it. It's been in the Google feeds for days now. Yeah, essentially wherever you go, there's discussion whether people will love it, whether people hate it, whether they think it's some crazy hoax by the Russians to gain all of your information, which I guess potentially it could be. Obviously, I am pointing the finger directly, this finger, at a certain Mr. Holzman, who released a video in the week saying basically it's all lies and deception. I still don't understand. I've watched the video twice now and I still don't understand what his point actually was. It went flip-flopping all around and I'm still none the wiser. So if any of you have seen it and you've got any idea what the hell he was blithering on about, please let me know, because my universal translator doesn't appear to be working right now, and yeah, no idea whatsoever. So yeah, he's definitely on the side of the fence where it isn't a thing. There's others on the other side of the fence who have actually got it, tested it, used it for gaming. Linus, Tech Team GB, various others, Yes City, etc. So it is a thing. It does exist in some guise or other. There's various points actually in the operating system which do point towards a particular Windows version, and it does seem to be genuine. I've got to be honest, I've had a look around and a little tinker. I am not an expert in these things when it comes to beta releases and insider editions, although generally I do get them whenever they're available from Microsoft. It could be a hoax, I don't know, I really don't know, but it does seem to be the real deal. I have actually got it installed on a machine, actually the machine behind me, which we will be turning on and going through. So if there's any particular aspects of Windows 11 you would like to see from the leaked ISO, then again let us know in the comments and questions and we'll try and go through those. We will do a little brief tour of it, although some of you have probably seen the video I did during the week, a very, very quick overview on how to install it on various problematic pieces of hardware by enabling TPM, that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll be going through that. We'll be taking mostly your questions, seeing what your thoughts are. I think pretty much most of you that are watching, if you're regular viewers of the channel and you follow me on Facebook or wherever else I am, I don't know. Discord, that's the one. We're on Discord as well, obviously. You'll probably know that I'm actually really impressed with it. I think it's a really nice operating system. It takes Windows 10 and basically makes it better. Very much like they did with other operating systems. Windows 98 became Windows 98 second edition, which improved it massively. And people often forget the fact that, yes, it isn't particularly a new operating system. And it doesn't have to be a new operating system built from the ground up on new code. Yes, that would be nice, but certainly we know what happens when that is a thing. When they start off with new code and give us a completely new code base for an operating system, it doesn't always bode well. Look at things like Windows Millennium, for example, where that was kind of using some of the NT code base in a weird way. They tried to ditch DOS, which was an integral part of Windows 98 and Windows 98 second edition, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't right. It wasn't ready for the prime time. Also, we've got things like Windows Vista, which kind of tried to do new things with the new Aero interface, and essentially that tanked as well. Although some people like it, and in fact some people still use it from what I can tell from the Steam hardware surveys. A very, very small amount of people, but certainly some people do. So what I'm trying to say is it doesn't need to be necessarily a whole new operating system with a whole new code base built from the ground up. For me personally, I'm very happy Windows 10 is, as it stands at the moment, a pretty decent operating system. I think most of you will probably agree, and I would imagine most of you watching this, if you're not on macOS or on Linux, there's a very, very strong chance that you're on Windows 10 also. And pretty much every machine I own in the house, I think every single machine in the house is on Windows 10. So that is a testament to my appeal. I like it. I think it's great. I love Windows 10. I installed it very, very early on, inside of releases, even when, I've got to be honest, I hated Windows 8.1 and Windows 8. Windows 8.1, I think for me, the tile-based operating system.
You even put it on your Windows phone really early on.
God, horrendous, yeah. Even my Windows phone, which was running Windows 8, I put Windows 10 on there as soon as I possibly could. Windows 8 was, in my opinion, horrendous. They took a excellent operating system, which was Windows 7, and they created a turd of an operating system called Windows 8, and I hated it. I got used to it eventually, but it wasn't a nice operating system. It wasn't a nice experience. It didn't feel cohesive. There was all kinds of different weird things going on, things in different places. It didn't make a great deal of sense. So I was very, very thankful when Windows 10 came along, and I'm even more thankful now looking at the Windows 11 as it stands at the moment. It looks to be a damn good operating system, and for me it certainly seems to be very snappy, very responsive. Maybe it's because it's a fresh install and there's not a lot of telemetry and all that kind of stuff going on in the background, although it appears that is baked in. There are options to turn all that stuff off in it already, so who knows, maybe it is just a more streamlined and a more concise code base, and hopefully going forward it's going to be much, much better. So I'm going to say hello to some of you in the chat right now, see what your thoughts are on the whole thing and answer some questions, and then we'll fire up the Batmobile and take a look at Windows 11 and see what it's like. So who have we got in with us on this rather wet and actually rather muggy Saturday evening here in the United Kingdom? They say actually we're expecting showers and basically rain pretty much continually for 31 hours now. So that's something to really look forward to. And it's Father's Day tomorrow in the United Kingdom. I don't know if it is in the
I think it is.
in the Canadias and the Americas and all that kind of stuff. Let us know. I'm not entirely sure. So anyway, Paul Bakewell's with us. I do apologise. I started my browser up again, so I don't have all of the chat members in. So if I haven't said hello to you, I'm not ignoring you. It's just, well, I can't see you. Sorry. We'll just wait a minute while George gets some ice out of the ice box fridge thing. You good, George?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll carry on. Okay, so we got Paul Bakewell with us. We got Ricardo and Ugly Bob, obviously. Good old Ugly Bob. Actually, Ugly Bob,
George.
bless his heart, he actually sent last week. Was it last week? Did I do a stream last week, Kath, or was I still a bit ill?
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was okay. Bob, bless him, I think it was the week before or the week before that. I don't know. I lose time. I was actually talking about the Microsoft Internet keyboard.
I think it's the one before.
And the lovely, lovely Bob sent us through this prime specimen. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. From an era where Microsoft actually made things which made actual sense. A fantastic keyboard with all the buttons in the right places, amazing spacing, fantastic ergonomics. What a keyboard. It's PS2, so let's not get too excited, but you can convert it to USB. I've tried that on a USB adapter and it works absolutely fine. This is brilliant. Thank you very much, Bob. We will be, I'm trying to work out where I can actually put this into use on a regular basis, because I really do love, that is just a nice, what a great keyboard. Thank you, Bob. We'll be putting that into use somewhere. I'm not too sure where. I may have to go now buy myself a white case and some white components to go with it, although they might have to be beige, because it is showing a little bit of beigeness about it. But thank you very much, Bob. We do appreciate that.
James asked if I'm responsible for the music.
No.
James
asks if Kath was responsible for the music. No. That is down to IKEA.
But
Not the Swedish meatball seller, one of the members on our Discord. And I chose it. I like it. I like the music. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. I kind of like it. It's growing on me. We might change it. I'm going to be like Microsoft, and I'm going to flip-flop around the place and probably not make my mind up. So who else we got with us? Ugly Bob actually sent us a super chat before the stream even started. So thank you for that, Bob. £2. And he says, "Wahahahaha." That is an evil maniacal laugh, I believe. Also, there's some bad jokes in there. On Friday's videos, if you're a regular, if you comment on the video, obviously hit the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithm. But if you want to get involved, we do Bad Joke Friday. So essentially, you put a bad joke in the comment section, and it just spirals on. So this week, because it was a Microsoft video on a Friday, we had all kinds of Microsoft bad jokes. And yeah, it wasn't looking good, and it didn't get much better. But certain people, like I think it's Paul Bakewell, he certainly did excel at the task.
And Ugly Bob always does.
Ugly Bob did well. I actually got one in myself as well. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't particularly funny, but it was a Microsoft. Oh, Outlook. Yes. I said something like these jokes are looking bad, and the Outlook doesn't look any better, or something like that. Yeah. I'll go. Right, so who else we got? Jad 2016 says hello. And William Bodie says, Moen from North Germany. How you doing? John Sullivan says, evening guys. Aletta's with us as well. She says, remember to like and share. I agree. Hayden Trent says, can we make 69 likes again? Well, let's hope so. Be nice to get 69 viewers, to be honest. Welly Bob says, evening all. Jason Wood says hello. Mark Berry says Street Fighter was good. I'm not sure what the conversation was there. Sky Stalker, our man in
The clouds.
the clouds, basically. Yeah. through either drug use or obviously flying. hopefully you're feeling better, my friend. Poor old Sky, he's really been through the mill. So hopefully you're on the climb, the upward, the ascent. Is it ascent? Yeah, ascent, descent. I always get those wrong. Especially when I'm sorting prices. What is that thing when you go to a website and it says sort prices? Why don't they just say high to low or low to high? Why don't they say ascending or descending? Because if you're stupid like me, then that really can confuse. And I often have to do 2 attempts at that one. Who else we got with us? Welly Bob, we've said. Oh, look outside, it's raining. Yep, it is. Stuart Cleary says, evening all. Hey Stuart, how you doing? David Aitken says, good evening all. Good old David Aitken. Bless his cotton socks. They're probably worn through actually because all the work he's been doing recently. Dave dropped by earlier to drop in a motherboard for us to take a look at. So you can all say thank you to Dave in the comments and chat now. He has actually purchased for himself the Gigabyte B550 Aorus Master, which was on Amazon, which actually in a warehouse deal. Got an absolute ton of cash off of that one. So definitely looking forward to taking a look at that one and probably updating the BIOS for him so it's ready for his shiny new 5000 series processor, which he doesn't know he's going to buy yet, but he obviously will through the affiliate links in the video description. Thank you very much for that, Dave. Who else we got with us? Blah, blah, blah. Eddie says, hi everyone. Is that Eddie the Eagle? I loved Eddie the Eagle. The film was even better.
Oh,
I enjoyed that.
Elton John was that Eddie the Eagle as well then.
Hayden Trent says, wow, Mike can count to 2. If I take off my shoes and socks, I can get up to some really proper double digits.
I'm glad you just said that. You did just say shoes and socks. You didn't even say fingers.
I know.
Double digits on your toes.
Yeah. Sir Soppy Ball says, evening all. Love that name.
He also did a joke. Let me.
Who did a joke?
Before it gets lost.
Oh, right,
Why
okay.
are Microsoft employees never relaxed?
Don't know. Why are Microsoft employees never relaxed?
Because they're always on edge.
Because they're always on edge. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Just in case it got lost later on.
Ricardo says, I was a beta tester for Windows 7. It was love at first sight. Windows 7 was good. XP, when XP came out, it was really nice. I really liked XP to begin with. But I think when 7 came out, it opened up a lot more opportunities. I love the fact that Windows 7 had the Windows 7 Media Center built in, or Windows Media Center baked into it. I was, and Kath was as well, we were really, really big users of Windows Media Center back in the day. We had the things decked out with USB capture cards, TV cards, all that kind of stuff. We used to download the IMDb stuff and all the program guides and all that stuff. Set program schedules to record certain things. Man, those days were good. And you could use the Microsoft remote, just sit back and...
There was actually stuff on TV to watch.
There was actual things on TV which were worth watching back then. But now, thankfully, new media is about. That's us. And there's a lot more entertainment available.
£150 bargain to be had.
There it is, yes. Sky Stalker says, I'm doing pretty good today. Today is a good day. That is fantastic news. Wild Bill says, howdy Kath and Mike, how you doing? Jad 2016 says, today isn't the best day. Okay. Welly Bob says, I did the Windows 11 install within 0 minutes to make it look like Windows 10. Yeah, surprisingly, you know that's going to be a thing. Windows blinds and, what was it, Shell 7 I think it was, that converted Windows 8 into Windows 7, which was its only kind of saving grace. That was good. Ricardo says, I can't drink anything for 15 days, first dose of C19 vaccine. Are you not supposed to drink after it?
No.
I never knew that.
Drink ever again after it, are you?
Never ever supposed to drink again now, that's it. Tristan Graf G says, hi Mike and all. How you doing, Tristan? Ugly Bob says, any price drop is incidental if the stock isn't there. reference to graphics cards. I think that is probably very accurate. Mark Berry says, I'm just going to stick with the 3400G for the time being. I still haven't put together my 3400G system. The plan of action is still to put it on that board. I'm thinking now that could be my Windows 11 kind of test machine. I think that is probably a very good idea. I want to test things on it, things like streaming, obviously, stability for things like Outlook and Premiere. Those kinds of things are a necessity. I really look forward to jumping on the bandwagon with Windows 11. I think it's going to be the way forward. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a free upgrade. I'd be amazed. The whole idea of Windows as a service makes a lot of sense for not only Microsoft, but for the end user. If they do it as an upgrade that you can defer, I think that is probably going to be the best way. Because the code base does kind of in theory look very, very similar, I would imagine an upgrade is very, very likely. Like extremely, well, it's going to be a thing. I'm sure of it. I would almost put money on it. If I had Bitcoins, I would bet them. It's extremely, extremely likely. It is so close to Windows 10 in most areas, I'd be amazed if it wasn't. I really would. Almost like when we went from kind of XP Service Pack 1 to Service Pack 2 and Service Pack 3. I think it's going to be one of those kind of deals. Ugly Bob says Kerry is the David Icke of YouTube. I actually like David Icke. I think David Icke's he's just a fascinating individual. I'm not sure what it was, the stuff. What's the stuff he took? Ashwagandha or something?
No, that's what we take.
Oh yeah, some other stuff. Some other kind of herb. And had this kind of outer body, trippy kind of sensation thing. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. David Icke. I would love to go out for a drink with David Icke. I think it would be absolutely amazing. You wouldn't need to say a word. You'd just be sat there. For crazy guy. Not crazy, but crazy as in crazy intelligent. At least must be, because remembering all that stuff. Wow. Jason Wood says, Mike, did you get a chance to have a look at that case? Oh God, what case was that? That was the... Oh, come on, brain. Wait for it. The pen is going to drop. No, it's not. You have to let me know again. I did see it on email. And I think I did look... I can't remember. This week's been a bit of a blur. Bruce Cox, the Mad Hobbit, says, while Microsoft said there will not be a yearly fee for Windows 10, which they have kept, going to Win 10 frees them from having a yearly monthly fee. Yeah, I think going down the lines of Microsoft as a service, I think if they... I'm trying to think how this would work. If they somehow tied it to Office 365, I think for some people it would make sense, but I think realistically they're making enough money from the current subscription models from businesses, from end users, and from selling kind of grey license keys throughout the market. They've got a massive market share. They're not exactly short of a few quid. They're kind of the second or third richest company on the planet, so I don't think they really need to make much more money. But let me know, what do you think? We've got a super chat come in from Patrick LaBelle, 15 Canadian rupees. And he says, hi Mike and Kath, have a drink on me for Father's Day. Oh, thank you, that's very kind. I won't be able to watch the entire stream, so I'll have some catch up to do tonight. Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Patrick. That's very kind of you. What a lovely man. How do I get back to the chat? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. And why am I thanking myself? Ricardo says, if it's true that new Intel dedicated GPUs are as great as the RTX 3070, I'll go for them without doubt. Farewell, Team Green. That is something which, as far as I can tell at the moment, Intel GPUs, from what I can see, will only work with Intel boards due to a BIOS thing at the moment. Whether that's real, whether it's not, I don't know. But it kind of looks that way. Some of the early reviews we've seen from the, was it the DG1, I think it is? Yeah, DG1 I think is the early one, which is basically like a cut down GT1030, only seems to want to work on Intel boards from OEMs at the moment. So yeah, not too sure about that one. We've got another super chat come in. For those of you not sure what's going on, when we get super chat, the lights go dark, the RGB ball kicks in, and yeah, I get to read something. So Ugly Bob's give us £5. Thank you very much, Bob. It says £5 English towards quieter ice cube dispenser.
That's flame shaking.
I know, George earlier, wasn't it?
But he was
Thank you, Bob. We do appreciate.
scratching.
On a personal note, we are. God, where do I start? Okay, this house is a 1930s house, so yeah, it's seen a lot of action over the. No, that sounded completely wrong. It's had wear and tear, let's say, and our roof is leaking at the moment. So we've got like a 1930s house, so there's a part of the kitchen area and it goes out further than the rest of the house. So you've got two bits of roof like that, and where it meets in the middle is basically knackered. So the technical word for it is the valley, I believe. The roofer said it was called. So at the moment, whenever it rains, our daughter's bedroom, this room in the corner, the kitchen and the bathroom get wet. So it's a lot of things are falling apart right now, and we want to do DIY stuff around the house, which we haven't done for a long time because we've been trying to get someone to come and look at the roof. We've patched it before for a couple of years and it's done a little bit, but now it's got to the point where it's pretty bad. So we want to do loads of DIY, but we can't do anything until we get the roof fixed, because obviously if you fix anything else, plaster wise or whatever, reskim the walls, redecorate, as soon as we get the next downpour of rain, it's basically all going to come off the walls again. So yeah, part and parcel of that, this is the long way around the story, we are wanting to get a replacement fridge freezer, because we had that one since we moved in, and it's an American style one, but it started rusting the front door where the drink dispenser is. Yeah, so we do want to actually replace the ice dispenser, is what I was getting back to from Ugly Bob's £5. So yes, as soon as we get the rest of this kitchen sorted out and the ceiling sorted out, we will be getting a new kitchen, possibly without an ice dispenser.
No.
Without one, I think. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I want a Berkey.
Kath wants a Berkey water filter. I do quite like the idea of one, but they are lots of money.
Stuart Cleary said it sorted quicker, the timbers were rot, but we've had.
Yeah, we did have a look at the.
They're fine.
We had the builder in, and he had a look in the roof, and the rafters all appear to be bone dry, but the flashing and the felt towards the lower part of the roof all the way around is frayed and knackered. The top side is all pretty good. The bottom side is all starting to go. So yeah, we're waiting for a quote to come through to get the roof replaced or repaired. Hopefully it's not RTX 3090 money and closer to GT 1030 money, but I don't think it's going to be. We'll see. Anyway, sorry to digress, but that's what this stream is all about. It's very unconventional, and yeah, you get to find out a little bit about me and Kath and our family and our life and our ice dispenser. Yes. Sir Soppy Balls, are those real bricks or wallpaper bricks? I've always wondered. These are wallpaper bricks. They do look very, very good. I've got to be honest, they do look very good. But they are actually wallpaper ones. The previous wallpaper we had, which was white, it started to go a little bit yellow in, obviously sun bleach in it and what have you. So we've replaced the white bricks with the red bricks now.
But we might go back to the white.
But we might go back to the white bricks in a month or so, at least when we've got the roof done. Because the white ones are, yeah, quite... I like the white bricks. I miss the white brick, I've got to be honest with you. And the white bricks were better for bringing out my tan, whereas now I kind of fade into the wall. Anyway, okay. William Bodie says, when will support stop for Windows 10? I think they did officially announce that very recently in a larger scale, but I think they did actually say ages ago that support would finish, I think it was 2025, will be the end of support for Windows 10. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, let me know in the chat and I will rectify that. But I'm pretty sure it was 2025.
Blake said 2025.
2025, yeah, I think it was. Aletta says, I love DOS. I got to be honest with you, I did do a little bit of DOS back in 1990 when I first started getting into computers. DOSing around, yeah. Yeah, the DOS commands, some of them we still use now. Check disk, I think, is still a thing. Auto exec, that is obviously still a thing.
Paratoys?
No, Paratoys is not a thing. Mark Barry says, does Bigfoot exist? I don't know. I'll ask my son. He works at Sports Direct, so if there's anyone with massive feet in there, he would probably know about it.
Kim Kardashian's husband that she regretted marrying, he had big feet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
17s, weren't they?
Holy shit.
Bigfoot.
Ricardo says, I hated Windows Vista, installed and deleted the same day. I actually had I went to our local PC World store in Bristol and I bought a new laptop for work, which was, I think it was £499. And it was a Toshiba, it wasn't a Protege, I don't think. I'm trying to think which one it was. It was basically with a dual core Intel processor. I think it was an E4400 or something in there. And it came pre-installed with Windows Vista. And I only left Vista on there because it was pre-installed on there. And it ran like an absolute dog. It was horrendous. I think it only had like 4 gigs of RAM, or maybe even 2.
Oh, was that like
it was
one
awful.
Your phone was more powerful.
It wasn't far off it. Captain Me's Adventure says 80 in the stream. Bless you. 92 it says now. Concurrent viewers, wow. Kieran Atkinson says, I preferred the white. It brings out the RGB more. Well, we are going to go back to white bricks, I think. I do kind of like the red. It has actually got a nicer texture because it's more washable. Mike's DIY channel. But yeah, I think what I'll do is, when we put this up, we bought some really crap stuff off Amazon, which was self-adhesive, and it was bloody awful. It was basically like see-through. It was like, basically like cling film that someone had sharpened on bricks. It was awful. So we put that on top of the white to begin with, and it just looked horrendous. So we got rid of that, went with this, but it does seem we should have peeled off the other paper before, because this stuff, when the paste got onto the stuff behind it, it started to peel the whole lot off. So the room is gradually getting smaller and smaller as we put more layers of paper on. Although, it's quite good for sound insulation, so there is that to it.
Stuart Cleary distills all their water
Oh, nice.
for the last 5 years.
James Brock says the same, the white bricks did stand out more, like them too. Okay.
As we went to that much work, we thought we'd better go different.
Yeah, we did have to go different just to make it look different for a while. And it's right, it's tax deductible. Thanks, Taxman.
We did order some white wallpaper from Amazon, but it was sticky backed and didn't
I've just
line
gone through
up.
that.
Oh, did you? Sorry. I was reading.
Sorry, do apologise.
Sorry.
Aletta says, yes, Bigfoot is real. I've seen them a few times. I'd imagine that, living in your neck of the woods, very open, lots of woods and shit like that. Stuff like that. James Miscellaneous says, let's not talk about power toys on this stream. Things might need some censoring. Stuart Cleary says, I distill our drinking water for the last 5 years. Expensive, but necessary. You should see the crud that's left in the distiller after only 1 day of distilling. We are going to, I think we're going to get a Berkey water filter. Look them up. Tell me what you think. Should we get one? Should we do a review on it? Is it going to make any difference? Neil Longman says, 14-year-old has just walked through the lounge with another PC he has built, lol. Nice. Timberbox says, Vista was the Bing of operating systems. Yeah, it was. Ricardo says, has anyone seen the brand new Seasonic cases? Inverted Mobo. I've got to be honest with you, when it comes to inverted motherboards, I'm not a fan. It just looks wrong. It's like with Knight Rider, the car, kit. Knight Industries 2000, for those who are interested. That car was amazing. It looked beautiful, but you looked inside and it had a crazy like fighter joystick kind of steering wheel rather than a normal steering wheel.
And the bloody Hoff.
And it just didn't look right. There's something about it. It's like, why have something which is a work of art, i.e. a PC or a car or whatever, and then turning it upside down or making it look weird? It's not right. People shouldn't do it. Please, stop inverting motherboards. Kieran Atkinson says, where is the Sahara AIO? It is currently down there in the box.
You can't see that.
Ready to do the unboxing and ready for it to then go into my main PC to give it a real test. I've confirmed that it doesn't leak, which is always a good sign. And give it a good test on the 3600 and it done very, very well. So yeah, just got to finish that off now. That is long overdue actually. Mehmet says, I do miss the good old days of Windows 7 Service Pack 1. Yeah, Windows 7 was good. I do miss it. Welly Bob says, Mike, you got a Logitech G305 yet? No. I'm not a big fan of Logitech. Apart from the C920 camera, which I've got up there. Oh, this thing's turned off again. Oh no, I turned it off, didn't I? Idiot.
Just been through all that.
Yes. Cosmic Space Moment says, 84 Pontiac Trans Am. What a car. What a car.
You only watched it for half.
The Best RC says, Mike, looking tanned. Been on the beach? No, just in the back garden. That's about as far as we can go these days. Well, we walk up to the shops, but there's no point going anywhere else, is there? We got everything we need in our garden. We got grass, we got mud.
We got cats.
We got cats, sunshine, neighbours. Other than that, it's great.
Mint tea.
Hugh W says, hi Mike and Kath, what is Windows 11 like? Well, you can find out for yourself shortly. We're going to go through and have a look, see what you guys think of it. Hugh W says, up number 45, everyone please upvote. What number are you? Thank you. Rick says, hi Mike and Kath, I still use Windows 7 SP1. I think there's a lot of people, especially businesses, which are still going to be using Windows 7 and probably will do for the foreseeable. Stuart Cleary says, Indian Mike is in the house.
Delta Mike.
I am the Delta Mike. Neil Longman says, I like the Chevy Camaro. James Mercedes says, hey, JB, been riffing about old whiny turtle face a lot today. Whiny turtle face? Who's that? That's got to be Kerry Holzman, the man with no neck. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. That's very bad sport. But I'm not going to say it. Welly Bob says Windows 11 is better when you customize the look. You need activation, yes. Now, actually, we'll get into this now. We'll fire up Windows 11 so you can see what it actually looks like. Sorry it's taken so long to get into it, but me. I'm not going anywhere. I've got nowhere else to be, so might as well take my time. Actually, let's have a quick slurp of tea. This week, I have been not eating chocolates, not eating biscuits, not eating crisps, none of that junk. I've just been having fruit juice, fruit, and like maybe the occasional normal meal. And yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it at the moment. I'm missing sugar. Well, not sugar, I'm missing chocolate. Biscuits, I'm missing biscuits, man.
Juicer review coming.
Yeah. Okay. Captain Meets Adventures, Mike and Kath, how would you cope in a zombie invasion? Which would be worse, a zombie invasion or a small child invasion? I think a small child invasion would be worse because you're not really allowed to kill them. I think there's laws and stuff against that.
We could just scare them though, because we care.
Ray D says, have you been drinking Tango, Mike? No, I have been drinking lots and lots of carrot juice, lots and lots of mango, pears, apples, bananas, grapefruit, lemon, celery, cucumber. Cucumber juice is nice. It's refreshing. Celery juice on its own is the devil's. It really is the devil's own vegetable. It really is. Almost like drinking neat lemon, but more peppery. Anyway, let's move on. William Bodie says, why are you not eating it? What, biscuits and that? Because COVID spread is a real thing, my friends. Not getting out much, and whatever it is they're doing to the environment or the water or whatever at the moment, not a clue, but it's not good. And
stealing my toilet and my kettle.
yeah, it's making it to the point where I'm gonna have to start wearing 34-inch jeans, which I'm not a keen person to do that, especially as that means actually physically going outside the house to buy clothes. So yeah, I want to stay on my 32s for as long as I possibly can. Anyway, let's go. Captain Me's Adventure says, Mike, I've been drinking beer all day for you. Now, I didn't say I'm not going to drink beer. I did say I'm not going to drink beer. Zen Draven says, I just came into the devil's vegetable. What did I miss? BS3 call-in. BS3 representing. The devil's vegetable is celery juiced. Drinking celery juice is not a good thing. A really nice juice is blueberry, raspberry and pear. That is the shit. It really, really is. Very, very nice. Very good for you. Lots of nutrients and all that kind of good stuff. Like it. Just don't abuse on plum juice. No, definitely not. Okay, right. So, I've got to try and remember what buttons I press now. So if I press number 9, so you should be able to still hear me, I think. Let me know in the chat if you can still hear me. You probably should have the bars on the screen. David Aiken says, yeah, it gives you the SHITs too. Yes, it does. So can you still hear me, is the question. Yes. We hear you, sir. Good. Okay, so let's fire up the Batmobile, otherwise known as the PC. And you will get to see what you get. I should have the Windows sounds on as well, so I'll keep quiet so you can actually hear it. Black screen. And there we go. There is the wonderful, I actually think that's a very nice looking Windows home screen. Let's be honest, I think that looks brilliant.
Where's the blue roll?
Where's the blue roll? Yeah, who's hidden the blue roll? Bloody Bill Gates has used it to make up some artsy shit for his desktop again, the bastard. Right, so unfortunately I've got my old Logitech mouse on here, so it's a little bit, yeah, all over the place. I think it needs a new battery or something.
Where's the search bar?
So, let's have a quick tour. For those of you that haven't seen this already, right, top left corner, obviously recycle bin, we're used to seeing that. Microsoft Edge, sadly. Down in the other corner, we've got our notifications. So, we've got things going on, Windows Defender summary. I have done many scans on this with Windows Defender to see if there is actually anything in there which is potentially bad, and it hasn't found anything. Actually, I should say as well, I have actually gone through and I've not connected this directly to my own internet. I've actually got a router inside of another router, and then with basically it locked down, so it can access a few ports and that's about it. So if anything doesn't work, that is the reason for it. But I actually think it looks nice. I think that is a really nice, clean looking desktop. Now obviously, most of it is down to the wallpaper itself, which you can change. So you can go in and choose, where are we, personalize, and you can choose the default desktops. So we've got that one. Okay. Nice designs. No doubt they paid some poor sod lots of money to come up with that. And that one is when they went on a Microsoft outing to the local Pringles store. And Pringles have started to do a new ice version. And also there is a pepperoni version. and there's a cheese version.
And a prawn cocktail.
And a prawn cocktail version on the end of Pringles. So yeah, basically that's what Pringles look like before they're stuffed into a can. And what's the other one? We haven't seen that one yet, have we? So this is the a Vista, literally a Vista.
Is there a dark mode design?
There will be a dark mode as well, I believe, which we'll see shortly. Where are we? And we've got that one. So you've got the option of backgrounds, pictures, solid colours, slideshow, usual kind of deal. You've got options for the usual things, fit, stretch, tile, blah, blah, blah. So we can go into colours. So you've got the option for light, dark or custom. So if you go into dark mode, it does become rather dark. Which only kind of makes sense depending on which background, but you know, that actually doesn't look too bad. The dark mode. It's more transparent, I think. There's quite a lot of transparency going on there.
Do you know what that background looks like?
What?
Hospital curtains all...
It is hospital curtains all ruched up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got light, dark and custom. Basically the same as Windows 10. There aren't a great deal of differences. For you guys that are actually watching this, which would you prefer? Let me know in the chat. Would you prefer me to carry on in dark mode, or would you prefer me to carry on in light mode? Let me know. I'll briefly pause here a minute so we can see what the preference is, because I appreciate that some of you are watching this on maybe smaller devices, so I don't want to be straining your eyes when you're looking at a desktop. So,
Two darks, one light. 2 lights.
Ricardo, and yes, Mr. Wayne, it does come in black. David Aiken says light mode looks better. I think light mode, personally, for me, I do prefer, but I'm being very aware that we have viewers all around, so 3MyGs says, yo, it's Windows 11. Oh, is Windows 11 dangerous? I guess you mean. The jury is out on that at the moment. I think it's legit. I have, like I said, I've taken extra precaution of installing this on a spare drive, which is of no use to me. I've also got the network connected over network address translation through 2 routers, so it isn't directly connected to my own personal network. There is a firewall in between it, so yeah, it's as safe as it can be. I have run a scan, which if you're just joining now, you'll know I have run a scan and it come up as being okay. In fact, actually, if we go into security, quickly do that. So security at a glance, you've got threat protection, account protection, network firewall, no action needed, blah, 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 blah. And you've got in here, actually dark mode is a bit difficult to navigate there. So virus and threat protection, we do a quick scan. Okay. Excuse me. Now go through and check all the files. In theory, unless they've actually whitelisted something, which I don't think they can, not from the code, because the antivirus database updates itself, so unless they've got some way of kind of fudging it, I think it's very unlikely there's anything untoward in this particular release. I think if there was, I think Microsoft would be going crazy right now trying to tell YouTubers to stop kind of showing it, etc. So, okay. Gumbo says 20 viruses. Nothing in there quite yet. So I'm looking at allowed threats, so there's nothing in allowed, so that all appears to be good. But yeah, it's pretty much the same deal as what we've had before in terms of antivirus protection, etc., etc. So anyway, let's get back to the customization. So yeah, you've got options for background, colors, you've got dark mode, etc. Accent colors you could choose as you could before. Lock screen you can change. You've got the Windows Spotlight or again picture, slideshow, so again,
the link to download it?
No change there. If you want the link to download it, it is in, if you go into our YouTube channel, we didn't link directly to the actual file, we linked to the the person that was kind of linking it themselves. So linking by proxy, so to speak. So if you want to take a look at that, you can do. Although, to be honest with you, I think most of you, you're probably better off waiting until Wednesday or Thursday, whatever the 24th. So yeah, Thursday. On Thursday is going to be the announcement, at which point, if you're a Windows Insider, which is very, very easy to do, I'm very confident that you'll be able to download the release candidate for, well, it may not be a release candidate. There has been a lot of discussion that it could be the RTM version, which is version 22.000.45 or 44, which Microsoft and other testers, internal testers, have been testing. And it does appear that that potentially is an RTM version, which again adds some form of validity or legitimacy to this particular release. So in themes, we've got a little bit of a change in themes. So you've got background, you've got color, sounds, and your mouse cursor, etc. So you've got the Windows Light, Windows Dark, you've got Glow, Captured Motion, Sunrise, and Flow.
What are the specs needed to run Windows 11?
The specs needed to run Windows 11 are actually seem to be rather minimal. So from what it seems at the moment, it's a dual core processor, 1.4 gigahertz or above, 4 gigs of RAM, which I think is a bit of an upgrade from what it used to be 2 gigs. And what was the other thing? A graphics card which supports UEFI, and I think there may be a 4 gig for standalone cards. I'm not entirely sure. That is speculation at the moment. Again, I would imagine it's going to be very similar to Windows 10. Possibly a little bit upgraded in terms of RAM requirements, but other than that, I think it's going to be about that. So yeah, there is the settings there.
Is there a boot animation, or does it use the motherboard's logo?
It uses the motherboard's logo because it's UEFI. Would be nice actually if there was a boot animation. I do miss that for Windows XP and I think Windows 7 as well didn't it? So no, fonts, that is one thing that you may not have noticed already, is for fonts, the Windows font is slightly different. It's not hugely different, but it is slightly different. I'm not sure what it's actually even called. And also you can change your fonts quite easily and they show you versions of it, which I think is actually a little bit different from what it was in Windows 10. And also you've got drag and drop to install, which I don't think is in 10. I might be wrong. But yeah, I think it looks good. So that's font, so start. So on the start bar, you've got options for showing recently added apps, as we had before. Show most used apps defaults to off now rather than on. And show recently open items and start file, blah, 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 all that kind of usual stuff. Taskbar is where some people may want to go straight away. So taskbar alignment. So currently the taskbar, everything is aligned in the center. Now I'm thinking for multiple monitor setups, which is what they've really done a lot of work on for this, is it does make sense. So if you've got multiple monitors and you're spanning across, having the Windows or the mainly used features in the middle actually does make a lot of sense. Also as well, if you're using it on a portable device or a touch device, it's actually a lot more convenient if you're actually using your fingers to find those tabs in the middle, much like you would on an Android device or iOS, than what it would be to do it from the left hand side. But essentially it is just an upgrade of the I/O. So if you want to, you can shift it across, so then it becomes basically Windows 10.5.
Video with link is unavailable.
Oh, is it? Maybe they've asked them to take it down. Alright, we'll see what we can do on that. So MS must have claimed it. You never know. So, Mike, it's the old control panel. So let's take a look. So actually, let's go to what we've got. The taskbar we've done. So there's not really much more there. Notifications, usual kind of deal. System icons, turn on or off. Touch keyboards added on there as a default. Touchpad as well, which I don't think was on there previously. And where's the other one? Choose which icons. Normally I turn all mine on, because I'm an animal like that.
Is it still the old control
But
panel?
I quite like that. I'm just going to have a look now.
Oh, sorry.
So that is it for settings. Device usage. So this is a way that you can... I don't really know why they've added this in. So I think this is more about learning what you are doing with your PC rather than being actually anything helpful. So if you look at more device usage, it doesn't link to anywhere right now. So that's not particularly useful. But if it asks you what you're doing with your device, I guess... I don't know why they'd want to know that. It seems a little bit intrusive, to be honest with you. I think that is probably, yeah, a bit too much. Okay, so back to settings. So, yeah, you've got usual stuff. So system, devices, phone, which they're trying to link more and more these days. Network and internet, privacy, search, update and security. So we go into that, it's going to look almost exactly the same. See if there's any updates available. No. And what we've got for optional updates, usual stuff. That's just picked up the monitor, and I'm quite happy to leave that as it is. Thank you very much. So yeah, got delivery optimization, usual stuff. Allow downloads from other PCs, which normally you probably want to turn off. Windows security. Yeah, usual deal there. Nothing particularly interesting. Backup. So backup is to OneDrive for file history and all that kind of stuff. Again, usual sort of deal. We still nicely got the backup and restored Windows 7 version. So this is in the old control panel. So we go to control panel home, and essentially we've still got the old-fashioned control panel, but they've just updated some of the icons there. So Ricardo, there you go. That is your there's your answer. So we're going to hardware and sound. Yeah, this all looks very, very familiar. So
what's the size of Windows 11 after fresh install?
Let's find out. Windows 11 after a fresh install is, so we got, what's that? 4. All right, 30 gigs. That's with system restore and everything turned on. So it's quite a sizable install. Not huge by any means, but yeah, it has used up quite a bit. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong keyboard. Silly boy. So, users. Yeah, there's nothing really there. I haven't installed anything really. So it's all just the Microsoft stuff. So this is essentially a fresh install. So yeah, around about 30 gigs, which I guess is going to be the same sort of deal. Doriante is in the house. Hi Dory. Sir Soppy Ball says 30 gigs is okay. Techno Bunker says, would you say it's stable enough for daily use? I don't see why not. It's essentially it's Windows 10 with the UI enhancements. The only thing you're likely to get, I would think, at the moment, is going to be graphical issues. Some of the other YouTubers, Tech Team GB for one, quick shout out to Andy. He's done some testing with applications, and in general it works very, very similar. Same with games really. So yeah, I don't see why not. So anyway, we've seen that the let's have a look, uninstall a program and see if that's still the same. Yeah, so all I've installed is the NVIDIA graphics driver. And there's not a great deal there, as you can see. So I'll look for view installed updates. So that was an update which was done. No, I don't want to uninstall that. So that was a knowledge base update. Yeah, nothing particularly good or exciting there. troubleshooting wise, it's going to be pretty much the same deal. Let's have a look at the additional troubleshooters and see if we've got any new ones added. So we've got internet connection, audio troubleshooter, printer, Windows Update troubleshooter, Bluetooth camera.
Can you right click on the taskbar?
Yes, you can. If you right click on the taskbar, you get taskbar settings. If you right click on the notification area, you get whatever is going on there, but the right click on the taskbar just brings up taskbar settings now. Although if you do it onto a program, you get the normal things, so pin to taskbar, close all windows, etc.
Techno bunkers off.
Cheers, Techno Bunker. So yeah, it's looking very, very similar. It's quite speedy, and I think it's just being that it's a new look, whatever else is going on in the background. So there's the start menu, or what would be the start menu. So you have your option for pinned programs in your main start menu, settings, etc. You can, of course, if you want to, you can just drag these things down into your taskbar, I'm assuming. No, you can't. So maybe we can pin to taskbar. Okay. So I do like to have settings actually pinned to the taskbar. I think that makes a lot of sense. Nice and easy to get to. So the Windows start. The animation's actually not bad on there either, is it?
What about installing new games? Will they run on what?
Yeah, games and all that sort of stuff seem to work. Steaming works. Yeah, it works. It's basically Windows 10. So if it works on Windows 10, there's a very strong chance it's going to work on this. Whether it will on Windows 11 when it actually releases fully, that is another story. But certainly you've got all the things in there. So you've got Edge, Mail, blah blah blah, all the usual stuff. Netflix, Twitter, PixArt, news, etc. So yeah, usual kind of stuff. OneDrive, recommended stuff. The shutdown button is a little bit further away, so now actually it takes a little bit longer to shut down. So if you do want to shut down, you've got to go start, then to the shutdown button, press again,
Jason Woods is going.
and then choose. Cheers, Jason. I wonder if you right click. Yeah, if you right click, you've got the option for sign in or shut down. Also to view the desktop, run, search, file explorer, settings, task manager, etc. The one thing I didn't notice on here before is PC, or this PC, which seems to be conspicuously absent, which I think a lot of people would go there for information about their computer. But there doesn't appear to be anything there, so you'd have to use the search button. So if your app isn't there initially, then
What's the performance setting like in
you can scroll
settings?
through these as well. What, sorry?
The performance setting like in system settings.
Performance setting in system settings. So, that'll be in power, won't it?
Unpin Windows Store.
Right, it's power settings. So currently we've only got balanced and power saver and high performance. So not a lot going on here. I'd imagine those things are going to be tweaks which are going to kick in towards the end of when it's ready for its final release, I would have thought. Let's close that down. So yeah, in the start menu, so you've got all things there. You can scroll in that as well, which I guess depending on what size screen you've got and what DPI you're running at, you might need to scroll or not. If you want to see all of your apps, you can click on all apps and you get the traditional Windows scrolly bar. There is a little bit of a lag on there. I'm not sure if you can see it on your screen. I can on mine, but I think that's more to do with my capture device than the actual Windows install. It was running particularly smooth on the PC when I was using it, so I think this is a capture thing. Also, as well, I'm capturing in 720p rather than 1080p, so if it looks a little bit fuzzy, then that is down to my cheap USB capture device which I'm using.
Does the middle click press no longer work on apps?
Middle button press doesn't appear to. Let's open up a sticky notes. Oh god, here we go. Sticky notes needs an update. We are getting the update ready for you. Well, thank you for that. So, yeah, middle mouse doesn't do anything. Right click and left click brings it up into the forefront. Middle button does absolutely nothing. Where are we? So anyway, yeah, all apps, you've got all the stuff there, usual deal. Again, this is a fresh install, so it's not a great deal there. Got a video editor, which was in kind of most versions of Windows previously, where they're obviously Windows tools, yada, yada, yada.
Can you uninstall Microsoft Edge?
Can you uninstall Microsoft Edge? No. I don't believe you can, because it isn't listed as a separate entity. So let's see. Oh, where was that in before? Features.
Will it shove Skype down your throat like Windows 10?
Right, Internet Explorer mode is in there, math, blah blah blah.
What about Solitaire?
Solitaire is in there, you can get rid of that if you want to.
I don't think they want to.
What about it? It is installed as default Solitaire. They have learned something. Solitaire is there straight away.
Are you using it on real hardware or on VM?
It's on real hardware. It's on, if I find it, it's at the search box. Right. So there we go, you can see the information there. So this is a physical hardware machine, Ryzen 5 3600 6 core, 16 gigs, yada yada yada, Windows 11 Pro version, dev, and OS build 21996.1, Windows Feature Experience Pack. So the Feature Experience Pack could be kind of part and parcel of what this is all about. It quite easily could be.
How did you move the stuff to the left side?
The stuff on the left hand side, close that down. If you want to change the location from the left, you can just go into taskbar settings, and taskbar alignment is straight away there. So you can set it to the middle or the left. I actually don't mind the middle. I think I quite like the middle now. Now that I've been using it, I'm actually getting more and more used to it, and I do quite like the middle. It seems quite natural. Ugly Bob says get a Windows 95 theme put on that.
Quite a few people are very Mac-ish.
Yeah, there is elements of them. Well, the toolbar being centralized is very much a Mac thing. I suppose the pop-up here in the middle is again similar to how Finder would work, I guess. And like they say, was it copying is one of the best types of flattery or something, is it?
Left for the win. Everything you own in a box to the left.
Jesus says I want it. Jesus, you could probably get it. All you have to do is just ask your dad. I'm sure he can make it happen. Jesus is a biblical name. Jesus and God are related, you know that?
Ugly Bob always dresses to the left.
He does. Most gentlemen do. ABR says, I'm actually watching this on Windows 10, but 4 years left until the end of support date. Yeah. So overall, what are your thoughts on this? Is there anything else that, let me know in the comment. Thank you, James. Imitation is the best form of flattery. Thank you. Is there a multi-space desktop? Anything good? Yeah, where is... I've got to try and remember where that is now. How did we do the desktop-y thing? Oh God. Oh yes, that one there, isn't it? So yeah, that shows you your tasks. So you got desktop, new desktop, etc. All the virtual desktop settings. No, I don't want to sign in. Go away. Do you know what? I've never actually used sticky notes ever. That's the first time I've even opened it. Go away. So that is the dashboard. So click on that, you got your Windows dashboard, so that brings up all the news, widgets, etc. Widgets are definitely a thing now. I thought we'd got away from those with Windows Vista, but hey ho. Yeah, a lot of you in there are saying similar sort of thing, not overly impressed. It looks nice, but
what
that is...
What functionality do you get in Task Manager?
What functionality do you get in Task Manager? Let's have a look. Do you see that I naturally gravitated over to the right to do, to the left, sorry, to do Task Manager. So Task Manager, what do we get? So options, what we got? Run new tasks. I think this is going to be very, very similar. Performance-wise, yeah, GPU still in there, Ethernet, CPU.
Option to go back to square corners?
No, there doesn't appear to be an option to go back to squared corners. I got to be honest, I never even noticed it. Oh, that was a bit lagatronic. This is down to my capture card, I do assure you. So what else we got? Actually, so just with Windows running the base installation, there's only 126 processes running, which actually seems quite low. If anybody wants to do Alt-Control-Delete or Alt-Control whatever escape on their system and have a look in their task manager and see how many processes are running on their machines now, I'm betting it's going to be a lot more than 125. For a better install, that seems very, very low. Ghost Adder's got 205. That's almost double. So resource monitor, again, very similar setup. Device usage is very low. The overhead's pretty low. So memory usage, again, this is on essentially a fresh install.
Control Shift and Escape.
That's the one. Control, so we've only used 14% of used memory. 2.5 gigs, just under 2.5 gigs of memory in use for a base install. So that would explain why they're recommending 4 gigs as being the minimum, I guess. Yeah, 2.2 gigs isn't a lot for a fully running Windows operating system. David Aitken says 190 for me on a very recent new installation. Not bad. James Miscellaneous says Windows 11 is a way to move ahead with some changes that can potentially cause headaches, leaving Windows 10 users alone so they can make those changes is my thoughts on why a new OS. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's essentially, it's a less bloated operating system from what I can see. There appears to be less background tasks going on. It seems to be a little bit less memory intensive as a base install. Obviously, this is a pre-release, so essentially anything could happen. Skystalker's got 110 processors. Nicely done. Aletto's got 168. ABR, is Windows 11 better than Windows 10? I think they're pretty much the same. Skystalker says, you try any games on it? I'm guessing Steam doesn't work. Sorry if you've asked this. Silly kids wanted to talk to me. No, Steam, everything works. Benchmarks, Cinebench, all that kind of stuff. Steam works absolutely fine. Epic Games, GOG.com, all those kinds of things. Yeah, everything that would work in Windows 10 works in Windows 11, because essentially it's just a less bloated version, I'm sure. Ghostladder says everything has to be taken with some salt anyway, since this is the dev build and could be an early one. Yeah, this build is dated from the end of May 2021, so that's kind of almost a month nearly. And if they're ramping up towards release, then a lot of things could change. I remember Windows 10, the release cycle on that, it went kind of, it got better, then got worse, and then got worse again, then better. And it was a real roller coaster ride with things going wrong in various ways. So Windows Store is essentially the same. It does seem to open up quite quick. And task switching seems okay. The new task manager, or the whatever you want to call it, the what do they call it? Task view. Task view actually looks quite nice. That's a little bit easier to manage, especially if you're on multi-monitors. Let's chuck on Cinebench. Yeah, whatever. Not signing in, that's for sure. QWERTY Pro says, how much will they charge for us? How much will they charge us for this? I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a free upgrade. You're still going to have to pay for it if you're doing a fresh install, for an OEM key, that kind of stuff, and hopefully our good friends over at Premium CD Keys will be providing keys. In actual, this particular installation of Windows 11, I did actually activate with a key from Premium CD Keys. So if you are asking the question, can I use a Windows 10 key to activate with this? Yes, you can. And you'll probably be able to activate with a Windows 7 key, to be honest with you. Somebody has asked there, has it got the annoying, sorry, Ali Pearson, has it got that annoying news and interests on taskbar? No, that is now moved to the widgets bar, or sorry, the yeah, widgets. So this is where normally you'd have your news and weather.
But we've done a video to take it off.
Yeah, if you don't like it in Windows 10, we have done a video for that. Yeah, yada yada yada, Cinebench, blah blah blah. Oh, come on. It doesn't like 720p. So let's run a quick multi-core. This, in theory, on a normal, well, on my previous system, would get round about 9,000. Although I think I've turned off precision boost overclocking and all that stuff on here, so we might not get that. And there's a couple of tasks running, but we'll see. And it possibly doesn't like running at 720p either.
Ali's going to use our code for a new key on Monday.
Brilliant, thank you, Ali. The premium CD keys is a bit of a two-way thing, so we do get a little bit of commission from every sale on premium CD keys, just in full disclosure. But on the flip side of that, if you use our discount code Mike's Unboxing, then you get a discount off it as well. So your discount and my commission come off of premium CD keys profit. So yeah, we're all winners as far as I'm concerned, and it's about $10 cheaper than pretty much every other YouTuber that I've seen.
It's about £5.
About £5.
Yusef?
Yusef says they are often enterprise keys.
Up the next one.
Oh, Yusef, the problem with cheap Windows keys is they do activate, but they are not legit in a legal point of view. You can use them and it'll work, but better to know it beforehand. Well, they're kind of they're grey keys. So they're not illegal, and if they were illegal, Microsoft would shut them down. They aren't VLKs or volume licensing keys.
2 years?
Yeah, we've been using them about 3 years now, and I think we've only had possibly 2 instances where keys didn't work first time, and that was actually Skystalker, who will probably confirm that was the case, and he emailed them and they rectified it straight away. And I think very recently there was somebody else on our Discord who mentioned it, and they were also sorted out extremely quickly. So they're not enterprise keys or what is known as the VL keys or volume licensing keys, because those are pointless. There's no point if even buying one of those. But these keys do activate. They do attach to your Microsoft account, and you can reactivate the keys on the same hardware with your Microsoft account. So they are, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, for the money paid for £5, and you get a proper VAT style receipt, so you can claim it if you're a business user or whatever. Can't go wrong.
Yusuf's put more, but I don't, he's put good to know at the bottom, so I don't know.
Yusuf says they are legal if you're in a company, not for an end user. For volume keys, that is correct, but for these ones that from premium CD keys, that isn't the case. The activation system does know what type of key it is based on when you look into the system. If it's a volume license key, it will tell you that it's an enterprise key, whereas the ones from premium CD keys will say Windows 10 or Windows 11, obviously, Windows 10 Home Retail or Windows 10 Professional. They don't ever say VLK or Enterprise key.
Ricardo Sky, what they said.
Yeah, Ricardo, thank you very much, and Skystalker, thank you very much for confirming that. Ugly Bob's going to go and John Wickham. Hugh Luttrell says they're usually global keys like OEM one use only. They don't seem to be. I figured that would be the case, but I've used them, well, you've probably seen me rebuild multiple PCs and reinstall Windows numerous times on the streaming PC behind me. And as long as I use my Microsoft license, my Microsoft user account, they reactivate. So yeah, I have no complaints.
You haven't phoned up that number for ages either, have you?
Yeah, and I don't think I'm not even sure if the telephone activation even works anymore for volume keys. Oh, damn it, I forgot to change the thing. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I didn't want to do that, did I? Try that again. So yeah, the keys are fine, absolutely fine. Ricardo says I have more issues with Office keys. One license, one machine, one time. I'll be honest with you, even though premium CD keys did sell Windows 2019 licenses, they don't anymore. And there's a good reason for that, is because Windows 2019 keys don't activate anymore. You have to hack them. So if you're thinking of buying Office at the moment, my advice to you is go on Amazon. And there is the Microsoft 365, which comes with a 5-user license, and you can install on 5 or 6 machines. So effectively you can have 30 instances of Office on your PCs at home for, I think it worked out, it was £45 or £50 for a 15-month license. So I'll let someone else do the mathematics on that, but it isn't a lot. considering how many people can use it. And if you're in a family or there's a couple of you on a chip together, if you all chip in like a tenner or something between the 5 of you, Office 365 is definitely the way to go at the moment. Yeah, Yusuf, I agree. For Office, I prefer the subscribe one. I definitely do. Windows, yeah. License key from premium CD keys every day of the week. But for Office, I think at the moment, the subscription model is actually far more beneficial. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's actually got a pretty decent score. So normally I get about 9,000. It's normally just about the same as a Ryzen 7 1700X, give or take. So I think I said this in the previous video. We've got 9,280, which is very good. It's better than what I normally get on Windows 10. Although saying that, Windows 10's got other stuff running, so yeah, pinch of salt there.
If I buy a product using such a key, would I be able to see the product if I log into my Microsoft account page?
Nisander, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. If you buy the Office 365, yes. The Windows key itself, no. The only time you'll ever see a Windows license key in your Microsoft account page is if you actually go into a retail store and buy a physical retail copy of the disc. And even then, I don't think that actually still shows up in there now. It did, but I don't think it does now. I think it just remains attached to your Microsoft account, but doesn't physically show. I could be wrong. I haven't bought one of those in many, many years. So yeah, sorry, I can't answer you that. But for Office 365, if you get it from Amazon, do the subscription model, yes, it will appear and you can deactivate accounts, etc. It's all good. Okay, so I think that is, I think we've pretty much covered everything on there, unless anyone else has got any other questions regarding Windows 10.5, whatever it is you want to call it. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse again. And using the wrong mouse again, there we go. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And let's be doing updates as it would normally, so yeah, voice recorder. Everything appears to be working as it should do. Which is good. And let's see what memory management is like. So we've closed down Cinebench and our physical memory has gone almost to exactly the same as what it was before. I think it's actually possibly even slightly lower. So it appears that memory management is working well. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I am pretty pleased with all this. I really am. They could have done a lot more with it. Ahmed Khan says, complete guide to download Windows 11. If you scroll up through the comments, there is a link to the video from where you can get it from. We actually linked to it in our previous video. So if you want to go into our video released on Friday, and in the video description there are links to the video containing the original ISO and the download information, etc. James Miscellaneous says the real story behind Windows 11 is that it will wirelessly communicate with the bug in our V word and we will explode. Feed the cat, mate.
He's not hungry,
Well,
he's
he's
sick
not
and
hungry.
wet.
There we go. So, what are your thoughts? I think I've pretty much got the general gist of it, and I'll be honest with you, I am in a similar predicament. There isn't anything really kind of meaty to get into at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it becomes a full proper release and we can sign in with our Microsoft accounts, do all the synchronization, all that kind of stuff, with OneDrive working as well, to see if the memory usage and that kind of stuff goes kind of crazy off the chart. I don't think it will do, but we will see.
Mark Berry asked, did you find this PC? What's that mean?
Mike Berry. Mike, did you find this PC? I'm not sure what you mean, Mark. No, I bought it. Well, I built it. Bob, there is. You're quite right. Matthew Day, thoughts? Unimpressed. Now, I think what most people, or I think when, well, here's my guesstimation, first of all, and later on in the year we can come back to this live stream and see if I was right or not. My prediction is on the 24th they will announce Windows 11 and what is going to go on underneath the hood, apart from the cosmetic changes. Also, I'm going to predict an actual release day. So this isn't going to be a surprise, but I would put money on the actual release day of Windows 11 to be November the 11th. I'm just going to put it out there. Traditionally, when Microsoft releases or announces a new operating system, it's normally about 3 or 4 months later that it comes out. So if we think we're in kind of June now, say end of June, so July, August, September, October, it's not a massive stretch to think that they could do that. And being that it's called 11, releasing on 11/11 at 11 o'clock, it's the sort of publicity thing that they're likely to do. I think they did with Windows 10. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember because I had it installed quite a long time beforehand. But I think they're playing along with this whole kind of marketing thing now. So I think it's going to be called Windows 11. I don't think it's going to be called Windows Sun Valley. I think that's just the code name for it. Much like it was with all the other versions, Windows 95, etc. One of them was called Richmond, I think, wasn't it? Or Longhorn, there's all sorts of things. Yes, Kath?
There's a lot of this PC setting. This PC setting.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. David Aikens put it as...
Not sure.
I don't know if you're meant to be doing something.
Sorry, I'm just reading this now. Mike, did you find this PC? I'm not too sure what you mean now. I'm probably being completely stupid.
They asked if you could find this PC.
Oh yeah, this PC, there's about, you have to go into type about in the search bar and that's what finds it. So yeah, anyway, I'm pretty sure the 11th for the 11th, 11 o'clock, or 11/11/11/11/11 is going to be the potential official release date. Now, I would say that the release versions will come out before then as well. If it comes out before then, it will be odd. Now, under the hood, there should be code upgrades to work with the new chiplets from Intel, which are going to be the kind of the big small setup. So the little chips for background tasks, big chips for doing heavy duty tasks, which means an update of the Windows scheduler. Now, being that we don't have those processors available, we don't know how Windows 10 could or would have worked with that. Maybe it gets to the point where they just physically can't change Windows 10's code base enough and maintain backward compatibility to use those new types of chips. We know that AMD are going to go down that route at some point in the 6000 series, possibly. Maybe later down the line, who knows, AM5 quite possibly. So there's likely to be something along those lines going on under the hood. Whether or not it's backwards compatible with Windows 10, again, we don't know. And until we find out on the 24th, it's purely speculation, but it seems like a justifiable thing. Intel and Microsoft do work extremely closely together, and they are starting to work closer with AMD as well. So, yes, Kath.
Katie's aura.
Oh, thanks, Nora. I was in a flow then.
Well, go for it.
Okay.
You've ignored me for 10 minutes. Ignore me till
Where was I? Completely lost my track now. What was I saying? Yeah, anyway, so the stuff going on under the hood is going to be the real clincher of this. The UI, the user interface, the tweaks and stuff made to it, yes, purely cosmetic. It seems at the moment, it does seem less bloated, it does seem quite snappy in operation, but if there is other stuff which they've got in mind because of Intel's new chips, was it Alder Lake S, I think it is, the new chips. So maybe they have had to make some architectural changes to make that scheduler work. In which case, if you're upgrading to a new system, then you're going to have Windows 11. Then that brings in the thing of people with modern hardware are going to be using Windows 11. People on older hardware are going to be using Windows 10. In which case then it becomes the race to the bottom where we all upgrade to Windows 11 so it doesn't look like we're peasants on yesterday's hardware. Which most of us know in the real world it makes very little difference. As long as you can use your PC for what you want to use it for, hell, who cares? But potentially it's going to be one of those things that, yep, we just got to have the latest and greatest because as tech enthusiasts, that's what we want and that's what we need. And if there's a few quid spare in the kitty and it means getting a new operating system so people think you've got the latest and greatest hardware in your system, then I can't see that many people saying, no, I'm going to stay on Windows 10 because, especially if it's free. If it's a free upgrade, I can't see anybody turning it down. Especially if you've gone from Windows 7 to Windows 10, you pretty much know what to expect anyway. So yeah, the step from 10 to 11 isn't going to be as jarring for those people as it was going from 7 to 10 or maybe 8 to 10. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out in Thursday. Right, so there's 2 super chats. What have we got? Who's done that? So David Aikens chucks us a £5 and says, thanks for the detailed review. Saved me a job. We'll leave it for now until release. I don't blame you. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. And Stuart Cleary says, thanks, Mike and Kath and Unboxers. Great stuff. Thank you, Stuart. And then there's €10 towards our Berkey. What's that, sorry?
Katie's Aura still.
Okay.
That's how to get to your thing that you said.
I'm scrolling.
It's only Mike, open CMD and type system info. I think it's something you were trying to do earlier.
Oh, right, okay. Try to see, catching up. Sir Soppy Ball says, good stream tonight. Thanks, Mike and Kath. You're welcome. Matthew Day says, or we cling resolutely like to XP. I've tried using some of the older operating systems again recently, and it isn't as nice as I recall. There does seem to be that very much like when you play old arcade games and retro consoles and stuff. And you think back then, yeah, retro games was amazing, Mega Drive was brilliant, NES was brilliant, but you play them now and it's like, wow, the hit detection is whack. And it's a very similar thing for PCs and operating systems. I find that the further I go back, the worse the experience is, and the less you can do. There's another super chat from Glenn. Thank you, Glenn. It says 4:20. Chill time. What a day. I'll catch up tomorrow. No worries, Glenn.
Hope his house is going well.
Yeah, I hope your house repair or moving or whatever is going well. Renovation, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Sir Soppy Ball says, I went from 7 to 10, lol. Yeah, I endured Windows 8 for way, way too long.
What did I stay on for ages?
Oof. You stayed on Windows 7. Because you liked Media Center.
I liked before that.
Oh, XP?
Might have been.
Could have been. James Miscellanea says, going back to Windows XP feels like when I took a look at the original version of StarCraft after they remastered it. Very dated look and feel, but both great for their time. Yeah. Kieran says, better to do it as a fresh install? Definitely. I wouldn't, at the moment, use the leaked ISO as an upgrade. I really wouldn't use it as a main PC. Install it to play with and to see, kind of have a poke around. I've only done some virus tests in there to see what's in there. I have, like I said, I've put it onto a separate network, which is isolated from the rest of the PCs on the network, just in case. I think it's probably being a little bit overcautious, but having said that, these days we are living in that connected world where most things will talk to each other in some way, shape or form. So yeah, just for peace of mind and kind of due diligence, I guess, connecting it to a separate router, which is connected to my system, it just makes sense. Sir Sloppy Balls, thank you for your £2 super chat. He says, I farted in the Microsoft store. Luckily, they had Windows. Good one. John Sullivan says Windows 8.1 was better than 8, fixed the annoying start screen. Oh God, Windows 8. Windows 8 was...
You thought it was brilliant at the time.
For the touch interface, I actually went and bought... What did I buy? I had a Surface Pro 3, which it actually worked really well on, because it's a Surface, so it's bound to. I also had an HP... I'm trying to think the name of it now. Like a little 8-inch tablet with 2 gigs of RAM. And no, Acer was, sorry, an Acer tablet I bought with 2 gigs of RAM, and that was actually not a bad experience. It was quite usable. I then bought an HP one for about 50 quid when it was reduced on some site, and it only had 1 gig of RAM, and it was a horrendous experience, and it struggled to web browse.
You had that touchscreen laptop as well.
Oh yeah, I had a touchscreen laptop as well. That was running 8.1. That was, I think that was an Acer as well. It wasn't bad, but yeah, no, John, it wasn't the Transformer. That was one I wanted to get, but I never got round to getting that. Yeah, Windows 8, oh God. Windows 8 with Shell 7 on it was bearable. But it was just such a weird thing to... For the touch interface, it was great, because you could swipe in, get the charms bar, or swipe down and get stuff going and move stuff around. I liked all that, but it just didn't translate to a nice keyboard and mouse experience unless you converted it into the 8.1 or the kind of virtual 7, whatever it was. Not a great experience. Windows ME, a sure way to jumpstart a vomit. Windows ME was not good either. In theory, it was good, but the out-of-box experience wasn't great because it just crashed like crazy all the time. The hardware and drivers weren't ready, and it didn't have the resilience of the NT code base to maintain stability. Okay, so Kieran says I hated Vista, worst one to game on. Yeah, Vista was just it was just a memory hog. Again, it was they tried to add the widgets and stuff, which made it a little bit different, but it just didn't. It didn't have the hardware behind it to do it justice at the time, unless you had like a 880 GT. Smart, huh?
You rubbing your eyes.
Tired eyes. Yeah, it just didn't. It didn't work great. I wasn't overly impressed. Yeah, blue screen of death galore. It was absolutely horrendous. Yusef says, my first ever Windows was Windows 3.11 for work groups. I'm not sure. I think I might have used that.
Ali's off.
Thanks, Ali. Off to, up at 5:30. Yeah, God, I think we started off gaming on DOS because we had our first PC was Windows 95, our actual first home PC. And yeah, that was a steep learning curve with IRQs and Sound Blaster, interrupts and all that stuff. That was. I'm glad we're not back there. At the time, it seemed like it was great, and some things which were in Windows 95 still have not really been bettered. The Windows briefcase. The briefcase was an amazing idea.
David's going.
Cheers, David. See you later. Oh, he's going to tuck into a giant bowl of crumbling ice cream. Bastard. He's a lovely man, but bastard. Oh dear.
I'm having that tomorrow.
Yeah. Enjoy your crumble. Yeah, the Windows briefcase was a fantastic idea. A way of synchronizing files easily and storing them in two places. Basically, a very, very early implementation of OneDrive, but without all the bloat. Literally, you could put a floppy drive in, it would recognize it as part of your briefcase, it would transfer it from your floppy drive into your briefcase, then you could take the floppy drive out and go somewhere else, and your file was still there. Amazing. And it would synchronize in all directions. Absolutely brilliant. You could have two PCs, have your briefcase on both PCs, and take data to and from it seamlessly. Or at least it seemed seamlessly. I think if I tried it now, it'd probably be like, wow, what is going on? This isn't good. But I have fond memories. Good times. Right, I think that is, I think we should probably wrap up. I think we covered pretty much everything possible here. I don't think we haven't really got anything new to talk about with Windows 11 until we really know what's going on the 24th. Hopefully it's going to be at a time which is suitable for us for streaming, because we may actually do a live stream to get the information from Microsoft, from the horse's mouth, so to speak, and we can discuss it in the chat box, and you can witness my reactions, see if anything I've said is actually going to come true, see if Windows Insiders are going to get an early release on the 24th or very shortly after. I would be amazed if it didn't. I did say, I've looked in today, there is a Windows 11 version 22.000.44, which has, in theory, been marked as being RTM, which means ready to manufacture. So it looks like it's finalized. So there's no reason why they couldn't release it to insiders for more testing on Thursday, which would be absolutely awesome. Or at least if they opened it up to more people. You probably need to be on the fast ring, but yeah, if you're not already a member of the Windows Insider, if you've got a spare PC, get the Windows Insider. Basically go into your, just type in Insider in search box in Windows 10. You can sign in with your Microsoft account, and then you get access to the Insider updates, so you get updates that much quicker. You do end up being a little bit of a guinea pig, but obviously don't do it on a production machine, but if you've got a spare machine, actually you do get to see some of the nice features a little bit sooner, and yeah, you can be one of the cool kids. Well, possibly. More like a nerd, but a cool nerd. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Yeah, we'll try and do the live stream this week. Also, as well, we've got loads of videos which are stacked up, waiting to go out. So if you're into PCs, headphones, Discord, we've got a new one for Discord chat. For those people that have been having problems with Discord microphone or headphones not working properly or being too quiet, maybe people can't hear you on your microphone, that kind of stuff. We've got another video coming out on that. Sorry, my watch has gone mad. What the hell have I got now? You reached your stand goal. I'm sat down, you bloody idiot. Thank you for that. We've got the Corsair HS70 Pro video coming out very, very soon this week. Oh, Endgame Gear's got a new mice, which that is going to be reviewed as well. That's looking really good. Stuart Clear has given us another €10. Thank you, Stuart. It says time to listen to some Pink Floyd. Does that mean get really high and listen to Pink Floyd? We cannot condone that, but why not? James Miscellaneous. Watch abuse. Yeah, I don't know. Ever since I've done an update, or haven't done an update on the watch, but I've done it on the app which synchronises it to Fitbit, it's doing all kinds of wacky shit. Anyway, such is life. So what else we got coming up, Kath?
AOC gaming headset.
AOC, yeah, AOC. Yeah, you know me. Not AOC as in the Democrat lady. AOC as in the monitor manufacturer. Well, they didn't make more than monitors now. Who'd have thunk it? They make keyboards, they make mice, and they make headsets. And they actually make a pretty darn good headset, which is going to be reviewed. Well, it is reviewed, and you'll get to see it this week.
Well, maybe not this week. It's a few we've done, so they're coming up. It'll
be coming up. But yeah, AOC gaming headset. actually pretty bloody good. Who'd have thought it? A manufacturer that makes monitors coming out with a headset which is actually competitive with the big names. It really is. So yeah, look out for that one. You'll enjoy that one.
Clev Crass X.
Yeah, Clev. We've got some Clev RGB RAM review. So if you're looking for RAM, that's going to be useful. The Clev stuff's actually really good. I'm surprised how good it is. Another super chat from Skystalker. Thank you very much. 10 Canadian dollars. Says thanks for your Windows 11 impressions, Mike. Thanks, Kath. There you go, Kath. You have been officially thanked by the Skystalker.
Oh, thank you, Sky.
Bless you, Sky. We appreciate that, and you get better. Got to start teaching me to fly again. my flight skills seem to be severely lacking, so I need my flight instructor back.
Then I got
What else we got, Kath?
John Gand.
Oh yeah, we've got another car booster for emergency jump starts, which actually, the way the weather's looking at the moment, and possibly with other environmental factors, they're going to be more necessary than ever soon. Anyway, that's it. Let's call it a deal. We've told them too much information already. Shouldn't give away all of our top secrets. So thanks very much, guys and girls, for watching. You have yourselves a fantastic rest of your weekend. And to all the fathers out there, stepfathers, and just basically guys who are doing their thing, have a great...
Fur daddies.
A what?
Fur daddies.
Fur daddies?
Yeah, daddies to pets.
Oh, is that a thing?
I don't know.
Kath just made up a new thing, fur daddies. So if you're a daddy to a pet, a pooch, a pussy, a parakeet, a penguin, any of those things, then happy Father's Day to you, and hopefully you have a good one. So, I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we will catch you in the very next stream. Thanks for watching. And end.